Alright everyone, so today I'm going to be making a video about the Kicker PT250 subwoofer. I got it installed today in my 04 Silverado. It was actually quite a simple process, but I don't really see many of these installation guides on YouTube for this, especially in my truck, and I'm sure a lot of other people are trying to fit one of these in their truck as well. So I'll give a good rundown through of all the parts that you need, really. Things that can make it easier. So some things that I got were, I bought a wiring harness off of YouTube for this, or not YouTube, but off of eBay for this. I'm not sure if the stock wiring harness that comes with it, the cables are super long, but these are. So I just got to use the stock cable. I didn't have to purchase any new cables. But I also purchased. So what I did was I accidentally purchased a sub-wiring kit that was for the for like an actual like powered system with an amp and everything, but it came with these I can't remember what they're called now. I'm blanking. But it came with these cables, the RCA cables. Came with the RCA cables. So what I thought I could do was buy this Rockford Fosgate adapter, which basically turns these RCA plugs. It takes female plugs and it outputs them into the 4 wires. So that way you can just take the 4 speaker wires instead of having to splice into your speaker wires on your truck or car. You can basically just take those wires and then run these RCA cables. I ran the RCA cables and the remote turn-on cable all the way back up, and I went up through here. I pulled all this siding off here, which is just held on with clips and stuff. Pulled that all off, and also took out the glove box. All you have to do to take out the glove box is just push this side over. You'll see it in here, this little stopper. Just push it over and it'll come back out. And you can basically just feed them through here and then up. They'll go behind there, and then they'll come up over here, somewhere in there. They go up there. There we go. And they'll come out the back end over here by your stereo. So that way you can take your remote turn-on wire, this blue one, and wire it into your remote turn-on wire that goes to your stereo and your wiring harness. You'll want to take all 3 of those wires, twist them together, and put one of those connectors on that I have over there. Or you can just electrical tape them up if you want to be risky. But so that's the deal with the RCA and the remote turn-on wires. So you'll want to take those and wire those up if you do the RCA. I will recommend doing the RCA because that means that if your radio has subwoofer ports, you can plug the RCA into the subwoofer ports and control your subwoofer with your radio, which is super nice instead of having to control your speakers. Like instead of having to have your back speaker bass up for the subwoofer to work. At least that's how I understood it, so that's why I kind of went that route. But so I did take these 2 red wires over here that turn into the 1 wire, turns into your power wire. I did take that and run that on the opposite side because I heard that if you take the power wire and all of your other wires and take them together, you can get some noise. So I did the same thing that I did over there, except this one I buttoned up. You just pull this off right here and this off right here, and I managed to run that through up to there and then run it through. There's a firewall port up behind this big black thing. There's a firewall port up there, and you'll be able to take that, and if you get a big enough hole, you can manage to feed through the firewall right there. And I ran that up, installed my fuse right here, with just some butt connectors, installed the fuse, and then bought one of these, if you have a side post battery, typically it looks like this, and you don't really have anywhere to connect anything to the battery, like any accessories like light bars, or in my case a subwoofer. So I went ahead and went to my local Advanced Auto and bought one of these side post battery extensions, so that way you can it's meant for installing things like that. So I made sure to get one of those to install that too. You just basically put the fuse, make sure you put the fuse in. The fuse is a big part, because if your stuff shorts out, your truck could catch fire if you don't have the fuse there to blow. But yeah, so then you'll wire this up right here, twist that on, crimp it, do whatever you need to do. But make sure that when you do that, make sure when you're doing all this that you first and foremost disconnect the positive terminal on your battery, because you do not want to happen to short anything out while you're doing this. But yeah, so basically that's what I did. I just kind of did all that wiring run through this side, up through there. Oh yeah, another thing. This, I actually forgot to do this when I installed it, and I turned it on and I was super upset because it didn't work. But do not forget your ground wire from the subwoofer. I was an idiot and I forgot to put the ground on, and I was wondering why it wasn't working. And that explains why it wasn't working. You gotta make sure to put your ground on. And in this case, I just put it on the jack because, you know, it's a piece of metal and it's a good ground. Try and scrape the paint off too, around where the ring's gonna go, because that'll give you a solid ground. And yeah, so really now all I have to do is just button stuff up, tidy up these cables back here, and I'll have a perfectly working subwoofer. Make sure that when you're doing this to not button everything up and then test your subwoofer out, because if it doesn't end up working and you have to adjust something, then you're gonna be left with having to take everything back apart again. Kind of common sense, but a lot of people will just automatically assume they get it right, and sometimes that's not the case. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video on how to install this Kicker PT250. I know that I couldn't find many install guides out there, so I hope this helps a lot of you. It was definitely a learning process for me, and I will make sure to link all the parts in the description that I did buy, so that way if you guys want to follow the exact same installation guide that I did, you may do so. But this is mainly just for the subwoofer, because it does have a built-in amp, and that is why this made this process so difficult. But also make sure that you do have a radio, if you're going to go my route, that has subwoofer ports on the back of it, because if you don't have subwoofer ports, then it's not really going to work how it should, and you probably won't be able to connect to RCA. You'll probably have to splice into speaker wires. But yeah, guys, that'll conclude it. I hope I went over this in good enough detail. I've seen people that have just been like, yeah, you connect this thing to this thing and you get this thing and magic happens, boom. But I tried to show my wiring paths, what you have to wire to what. The only thing I didn't show you guys was a stereo, but that's pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is just if you install an aftermarket radio, you automatically have you have to get an adapter, which will take it'll take the remote turn on wires, and you'll have to connect them together. You'll have to connect every single wire together to its corresponding partner. So then you'll just have to undo your remote turn on, and then basically just add this blue remote turn on wire into that bunch and just mesh it all together. It's a pretty simple process. That was probably one of the easier things that I did. The harder part about that was routing the cable up into the stereo. But yeah, quite a bit of mess that I gotta clean up here. I gotta leave in about 50 minutes, so I'm gonna have to get this all tidied up and ready to go and rolling up with some sick bass. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if it did help you, and consider subscribing to the channel, because I'm gonna try and do some more truck log videos like these. I know this is a gaming channel, and I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, but I figured this could help some people, and with my sub count being up a little bit as it is, that'll make it a lot easier to get viewers than if I had 0 subscribers whatsoever. So that's why I'm doing this. Just want to help some people out, because I know that I needed help and I could not find it. So yeah, you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.